Christmas time, everything going on, end of the year, a lot of families, holidays coming up. So yeah, a lot of us is very upset about this through text alerts and stuff. Very mad. When we work here, we get text alerts through the company. They let us know everything, production and all that. They didn't tell us anything. So like I said, I'm very upset that this is going on. If this is the case, that we're shut down for no reason, no information, it's something you should tell us as employees. And a lot of us love our job.
Just a sad day today. 24 years, changed my life. Changed my life, and good people that worked here. And
the only notification we were given is a couple weeks ago. We got a informational letter from our union saying that we were given a week off with full pay to reduce inventory in the warehouse.
Did that seem fishy at the time, or did you just chalk it up to too much inventory?
It seemed fishy at the time a little bit, but we've had a lot of inventory in the warehouse, more than normal. We've kind of known we were in a little bit of trouble over the last year or so with production and whatnot, but no clue that this was coming. The first I notified is I was doing some home improvements and I saw the app pop up that says they closed the plant. I'm thoroughly disgusted. I have 9 years here. I'm a member of our emergency response team and fire department here as well. I worked overtime on Sunday. I came in on Sunday morning for overtime. No clue that this was happening today.
Another plant shut down. This time it was Sumitomo Rubber in Tonawanda, New York. The Japanese company arranged for its U.S. workers to take this week off. One of the original excuses they gave employees had to do with high levels of inventory. So their 1,550 workers took the whole week off, starting on Monday, only to find out from local media on Thursday that the plant was closing down permanently, leaving all 1,550 employees without a job ahead of the holidays.
Now to the latest on the closure of a Tonawanda plant that will lay off more than 1,500 employees. Sumitomo Rubber USA, which makes tires, is closing its Tonawanda location. And of course, we have team coverage for you this afternoon. Most Buffalo's Alyssa Closell is hearing from local leaders and lawmakers about this sudden closure. But let's start with Most Buffalo's Nate Benson, who is live there with the details of that closure and how employees are reacting. So Nate, what are you hearing?
Yeah, good evening, Courtney. The word blindsided is the word I'm hearing from government sources, union sources, as well as workers who I've talked to here. 1,500 people abruptly laid off today after Sumitomo Rubber shut its doors abruptly without much detail to anybody. Let me tell you what we know so far. I'm told there was a Sumitomo board meeting on Tuesday in Japan, and that's when the final decision was made. The company says the decision was made due to the overall facility performance within the increasingly competitive international tire market. Now, what's really interesting here is the facility was already on a temporary shutdown this week. The company told workers that they had too much inventory and were going to give everybody the week paid off while they worked to offload some of those tires. That temporary shutdown started on Monday, and here we are on Thursday. The company announced the abrupt shutdown of the plant. Workers were not notified by the company until 12:15 this afternoon when an email went out to all employees, but by then word had already spread. Listen to what some of the workers I spoke with today had to say about the whole situation.
Man, I love this job. It paid good. The benefits is Christmas time. I'm very upset to be, I still wasn't notified yet, but I see you guys out here, so I know it's the real deal. Yeah, I'm very mad about this.
How long did you work here?
I'm working on 34 years.
Other employees told me they had no clue this was happening. Were you notified at all?
No, nobody knew. They told us they were going to close for a week for inventory. They do have a excess of semi-tires. The Chinese flooded the market, so we knew they had problems with that, and they were telling us that this was a way to reduce inventory instead of having to buy another warehouse.
I blame it on the dumping of tires into this country from Thailand and China, and there's no tariffs put on them, making ours more costly to produce in the long term.
Yes, these Chinese companies are making buku cash, flooding the American market with Chinese tires that they're able to produce for less money compared to plants in the US, making it very hard for companies manufacturing in this country to compete and generate a healthy profit in an already struggling economy. This company, they had trouble in 2024. They had trouble in 2023. They're just one of many that didn't survive over the last couple of years.
Like I said, it's just a sad day for myself and the rest of my coworkers that worked here. Yeah. It was excellent job, life-changing. Yes, that's all I can say. I'm just speechless right now.
Yeah. Now, earlier this morning, the company hired a fencing company to bring fencing all around the property, and there was even security guards in tactical gear providing security for the upper management that was inside the building. I'm told upper management has been inside this morning and afternoon.
And let me tell you how shady upper management is. They've been working there at the plant in Tonawanda. These folks told the news the decision was made early this week following a board meeting. This is while the plant was on break. But yeah, word is they have some people in upper management in New York that's been working with the folks at the headquarters in Japan, and they've been planning this for months. Yeah, they registered the website that eventually became the shutdown website with the updates a month ago. So they knew about it, but didn't communicate that with the union or the non-union workers.
Now, I am told that several members of upper management in Tonawanda did know that this was going to happen. Some of them have known for months. Now, if you look at the update website that was registered for the workers and the community for this Tonawanda plant, that was registered on October 9th. So somebody at the corporate level did know that something was going to be happening here in Tonawanda, but that never trickled down to the union. It never trickled down to state or local leaders, and it certainly did not trickle down to those workers who were impacted by this decision.
So yeah, on-site upper management, they knew about this, but didn't tell anybody or give any warning. And that's why they brought all this security. They made sure to put up the fence right away and hired security looking like a SWAT team to protect these shady people at the top that's been planning to get rid of everybody's job at the plant without giving the union a heads up.
There was even security guards in tactical gear providing security for the upper management that was inside the building. I'm told upper management has been inside this morning and afternoon working on details of the closure, but naturally this is a devastating blow to the town of Tonawanda, 1,500 employees and a major manufacturer in town who obviously pays a lot of money in taxes, which is of course important to the town of Tonawanda. But again, devastating blow after Sumitomo Rubber abruptly announcing its closure today. We have a lot more details, a lot more questions about the timing of this closure, who knew what and when. We're going to be digging into that, and I'm still getting fed a lot of information by sources inside the union, workers who are working here who might have more details, and we'll provide those updates shortly. But for now, live in Tonawanda, on your side, Nate Benson. Courtney, back to you in the studio.
All right, Nate, thanks so much. You'll keep us updated. From workers to elected officials, there's a lot of reaction coming in about the plant closing. Governor Kathy Hochul's office released a statement to us saying, in part, quote, "The governor is committed to using every tool in the state's arsenal to support the more than 1,500 workers and their families impacted by this closure," which is why she has directed the New York State Department of Labor to activate its rapid response team to provide immediate resources to these employees that will help them find new jobs and ways to support their families, end quote. And we are also getting reaction at the local level. Most Buffalo's Alyssa Clausell continues our team coverage with that part of the story. Alyssa, what are you hearing from local leaders about this?
Well, Courtney, much like plant workers, local government officials are now also expressing their outrage and frustration with the seemingly sudden and abrupt closure of the site here, especially after millions of dollars of investment since they took over the plant years ago. And when we're talking about investment here, let's just lay it out really quick. Since Sumitomo took over in 2015, Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz laid it out pretty clearly in a statement he shared with our newsroom. He cited the sales and property tax incentives Erie County provided in 2017 and then again in 2021. He said, quote, "Erie County government will continue to do all that they can to keep the plant opening, signaling that there is hope that to somehow salvage those thousands of jobs." Also speaking out today, Assembly member Bill Conrad. This is, of course, his district, and he's echoing the same promise of somehow finding a way to salvage the plant, but the chances for that are already looking pretty slim.
From what we're hearing, this board made their decision, and it's going to be an uphill battle. So we're reaching out to all our partners across the state, federal, both parties, trying to get some response, and we're moving it up all the way to the Biden administration, whoever, to make sure that we could do something to save this plant or find a new buyer and do something.
We're also hearing from Senator Sean Ryan, who has called this situation heartbreaking news, vowing to work with partners to find a solution. And Town Supervisor Joe Eminger today saying the town stands with the over 1,500 workers now out of a job. Now, with all of these local government leaders speaking out, they're going to have to work with the Department of Labor to make sure that all severance packages and benefits are met, because there's supposed to be a certain threshold of notice for things like this, and it clearly was not met today.
The employees are completely in shock. They didn't see it coming. You have folks that's been working here for years, 10, 20, 30 years. Some of their families for more than one generation. Like one dad started working there, his son ended up getting hired, and the father retired from the company. So many of their employees were dedicated to this plant, and that's why they're upset at how everything just shut down all of a sudden without notice. Including this man right here that was completely blindsided. He's been working at the plant for 34 years.
It was kind of, I don't even know what word to use. It wasn't right the way that they kind of did it. I mean, they should have gave us some heads up, but they said they'd shut down for a week. They offered they're paying everybody for the 1 week, and then they said maybe longer. Lots of rumors going on in the plant. Nobody could confirm or deny anything, and now you find out today that I get pictures from the guys that they're blocking off all the things so you can't see. They got guards. They got a guard over there with a mask on his face covering the things. So, I mean, all the years, you work hard and then you come in to see this. I mean, I can't even get into the credit union. I went to get my Christmas club check and they won't even let me into the credit union. So they closed that. They didn't even know. The credit union didn't even know. So they didn't let anybody know. It's not cool. Business is business, but at least be cordial to the guys and kind of let you know. I mean, I'm old enough now to get my pension, but you got a lot of guys that work here that don't. So, you got guys that bought new cars, new houses, and they paid good here. So these people aren't getting any money, I mean, they're offering us severance pay. I'll show you the letter that they gave us. So, but it's a shock.
And that's another thing. These guys took out mortgages. Housing is already unaffordable. Coupled with high interest, high insurance, high property taxes, they're easily responsible for mortgage payments in the thousands, when just years ago, 2019, the average mortgage payment was $1,200 to $1,300. Now, just 5 years later, it's about $2,700 on a 30-year and $3,100 on a 15. And I'm telling you, we are definitely in a recession, but these folks in Washington, they've been gaslighting us, telling us the economy is great. Meanwhile, 100-year plants, 60-year plants, major businesses are shutting down left and right. We've had bank failures over the last year, and many indicators screaming at us that we're in trouble. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this below. Special thank you to Julie. I certainly appreciate you, Julie, for all your support for the channel, as well as Charles H., Luann, and the Wiser Driver. If you want to show your support for the channel too, you have to use PayPal for now. The link is below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.